Three, two, one, and we're on. Hey Ryan, what's up,
Hey,
man?
how are you doing? How are you doing today?
How are you doing? That's the question.
Oh, wow. Well, I have a lot of wind in me to talk, so
All
I'm
right, so why don't you
doing
to
pretty
tell us
good.
all about all about you and what you're here to talk about? Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, no, absolutely. Um, Ryan Bodwin, and the one thing that I'm here to talk about is connected to everything. So I'm here to talk about everything. I'm here to talk about self honesty, self reflection, self honesty, self awareness. Self.
Okay, that sounds inspiring. So go ahead.
Okay, so number one, I will use my American Ninja Warrior experience to get the point across of self honesty. Season 6, 2014, Dallas, Texas, I ran the course. Day one, I ran the course. I was successful. I qualified for the next day, which would be the TV recording day. And it is the day where you qualify to go to Las Vegas.
I think you can see the footage on YouTube, right?
I believe so, yes. Yeah. And so I ran the course and I made it all the way to the 14-foot wall, but I didn't make it up the wall. However, I was qualified for the next day. The next day, I ran the course. In the very beginning of the course, where I was successful the day before because I didn't pay attention to the crowd. Day two, I pay attention to the crowd. What do? I slip on what they call the quintuple steps, which are the steps that are somewhat like a ramp. It's like rock hopping if you go out into the Aspen, Colorado, or anywhere country in the creeks and you're going to jump from rock to rock. Same thing. So the rules are you are not allowed to grab underneath the quintuple steps with your fingertips at all. It holds you up because they are a little slippery. But you can put your hands behind the step. Not under, but behind it. So for the edge, you can go under the edge, you cannot. On the third jump, my third step, I slipped and I grabbed underneath the step, but literally fingertips, very, very little of my finger, but it was enough to keep me from slipping. Had I not, I would have touched the water. I would have slipped. And even if your shoelace touches the water, you're disqualified. So I went to do that show because I, in the past, have been in and out of trouble and have always questioned what type of person I am. Always believing I'm a good person, but I kept getting in trouble. I kept rebelling against the law. So here I get the opportunity to show myself as a good person. I'm on a platform that people like to watch, and I'll be able to speak about what I believe in. Well, that means that I have to have self-honesty. So what do? Instead of continuing on the course, I jump off. Right then and there, I disqualified myself. They were shocked. Why they were shocked, I'm still puzzled
Well, I
to this
was
day.
shocked when I saw it. It's just like,
Well,
yeah, it's hardly anybody could see it. So that's why
yes,
you talking about honesty. I bet.
yes, and that's what the producers said. I read a little piece on it afterwards, and I was surprised there was even a piece on it. I didn't think that it was going to be even on TV. I didn't think I was going to make it. My jumping off that course, my disqualifying myself had to do with my heart. Who am I? Am I going to run this course and get as far as I can and beat out other people who may not have even slightly cheated a little bit, even if it was unintentional, and knock them out of their opportunity because I wanted the opportunity? And then what? Later down the line, they take a close look at film and they're watching and they see that I cheat, and it comes up later as I'm a cheater. Not only am I a cheater, I'm a man with a record and I'm this and I'm that. No way in hell. I'm not going to put myself out there to be something that people like to say I am when they learn about my background. So the only way to combat that is with facts. Like my dad said, I'm adopted, so my first adoptive father said this: truth is whatever you believe truth to be. Meaning, whatever you think is the truth and believe it is the truth. However, facts prove the truth, no
Exactly.
matter what it is, and no matter what anyone believes. And so
I
the fact
agree.
is, I cheated. I believe that if I cheat in the smallest way, or anyone cheats in the smallest way, or the biggest way, you're done. Some people think, like the producer said in a little interview together, they would have kept going. Many people probably would have kept going. I could not. I literally froze. It went through my head. Don't even do it. Just stop. Explain what happened. You don't know what's going to happen after this. I jumped off the course, and what happened was it blew up. It went on TV, and it became this big thing for a while that the man of integrity, which I became known as, I didn't know that, disqualifies himself because he cheated. How big of me was that? That's what was said. I don't know. I don't know how big of a deal it will ever be. But I do know that I am a man that is honest with himself. So if there's anything anybody knows about me, or anything that somebody thinks is a secret, or that I will not be honest about, come ask me. There's nothing I will lie about myself, what I've done in my past, what I've been through, what I have intended at that time, that I won't be honest about. Because when I am honest with myself, when anybody is honest with themselves in the rawest form, in the ugliest form, because anybody can build themselves up to be something and look at the good stuff. But if you hold yourself to the rawest form of self-honesty, then you truly know who you are. Then you're truly yourself. But as soon as you lie, as soon as you put on a facade, as soon as you put on a mask, you're not going to know, you're not going to learn throughout life, the one life that you have, who you are. You're going to be that lie, that mask. And whether you are self-aware enough and strong enough to get out of it or not depends on you. You will maybe die a facade, but you're always going to think you're not a facade.
Whereas
What way is that to live?
for some people, it might be really hard to face the truth. You know what
Well,
I mean?
some people?
Of who you are.
But who
You know?
who
So
on
it's
this planet doesn't have a hard time with that? It wasn't easy for me. It's very hard to look in the mirror. For instance, it's not very hard to look in the mirror. It's hard to look in the mirror and be honest with myself in the beginning. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. Repetition, just like working out in the gym, makes for the closest you can get to when it comes to perfection. So if people want to master themselves, be honest with yourself. So, for instance, I have a criminal record. I'm not going to hide from it.
who doesn't?
Okay, true. Let's go one deeper. I have, this is going to put everybody on edge and get everybody's attention, I am sure. I have done adult film. So,
Oh yeah.
you say, oh yeah.
Well, what's the name of the
Um,
movie?
There's enough people out there that know the name that if they want to look at it, they will. I'm not here to promote that because it's a decision I made at a time that I was very down in my life and got wrapped up doing drugs. My drug of choice was crystal meth. And I did it for about 8 months. Worked as a male stripper, both in straight and alternative and gay clubs. I was never worried about being labeled as something. And so when I did the adult film, people are surprised when they learn that it was on both sides of the spectrum. Did I enjoy it? No. That's why I didn't do it for career. Did I enjoy the decision I made of who and the reason I did the film? No, not at all. Because I did it because of drugs. I did it because of money. I did it because I wanted more money for drugs. And to face that took many years. I lost over a decade and a half of my life because at the time that I did this film, I only did about 4 or 5 scenes. But at the time that I did this, I believe 4 or 5 scenes. Maybe it was a few more. But when you're on crystal meth, you're not really paying attention to anything. You're out for the drug. You really are. You're up 2, 3, 4, 5 days at a time. Still have my teeth, so yes, I stopped. But it was a rash decision, but it was a decision I made, and it took 15 years to get to a place where I can face it and not feel so ashamed. And talking to many, many people. Not about me doing it, but how I was feeling about what I did. And I think what is really important is the 15 years that I lost were 15 years I could have been doing stunt work and fight scenes and the career I really wanted, which was an actor. At the time I did this silliness, Vin Diesel was just coming out with Fast and Furious. I had just seen Pitch Black. And
that was
him
a
and
good
I have a
movie.
very similar look if you look at us back then and even to today. But I was very much driven, very motivated to go and give him a run for his money because I can act, but I am not the experienced, seasoned actor that I should be at this time, or would have been at this time. Not should be, because if I was meant for me, I would have it. But I'm okay with that. I wasn't okay with that for about 15, almost 20 years. And it messes with your head, it messes with your life. That is what non-self honesty, that's what lying to yourself does. It makes you miss out on life that you otherwise may have lived. Now, I don't regret it because I ended up becoming a very big animal advocate, especially for dogs and even more so for pit bulls and for all animals, but especially for pit bulls, because just like me, they are misread. I am not all misunderstood. Screw that shit. I am not misunderstood. I am misread.
Yeah, but back to that honesty thing, right?
This comes with it.
So have you kind of discovered it later in life?
I discovered
or
it later.
you've always had it, you know?
I think I've always had it, but never used it, because I've always been self-aware. I've always been a thinker. So more self-honesty, more honesty for the watchers, the audience.
So even at a time when you were doing the crystal meth,
Before
you,
that,
you had
self-honesty.
you had the same kind of amount of honesty in a way.
Not at the same level, no, but it was within me still, because I grew up hyperactive, and I grew up taking special ed classes, special education classes. I don't like saying special ed; that's sort of offensive to some people. And for a long time, I thought I was not very smart, not very articulate, wasn't able to put together well thought out and educated sentences and phrases in conversation. I was very wrong about myself. But what I always was, where that honesty always was with me, I always knew what I had to say. I always knew what was meant to be said. But as a kid, growing up, you don't say those things. You say what you think the parents don't want to hear, or you say what will get you out of trouble. And I knew when I was lying a lot when I was a kid, it just wasn't comfortable. And I kept hearing as I grew up, lies catch up to you. And I was seeing examples of it in the adults. Not in my house, but in the real world. Truth catch up to you. Truth will catch up to you, da, 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 da. And it would hurt the people when that truth catches up.
I think we all have that mechanism of feeling bad when we do something really bad.
When it's against your moral standing.
Exactly. You know,
And when
everybody
you're not a
has
sociopath
that.
or narcissistic, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're psychopath or whatever, sociopath.
Yes. Sociopath, psychopath, yeah. I mean, if you're all about yourself and you're the most important thing, which people, yes, you are important. You need self-importance. But you're not so important that the world revolves around you and you are the all-in-all creator of life and things that happen. But yeah, it takes time for self-honesty to build. It takes practice. It takes first looking in the mirror. And I remember the first time I did it. First time I ever was truly self-honest in front of the mirror, literally in front of the mirror. I was in my 30s, early 30s, very early, maybe 30, maybe 30, 31. It was 2004. My daughter's mom left me. And she left me on my birthday. And she left me because I wasn't being faithful. She wasn't very faithful herself. She was dishonest. And our relationship just became very volatile. We would fight back and forth. She's from Sheepheads Bay, Brooklyn, Sheepheads Bay, New York, which is in Brooklyn. And she is a Sicilian-Italian mixed girl. And she does have a hot temper. She is aware of that. I don't know how she's worked on that. That's not discussions we have.
Maybe that was something you liked, though.
It
right?
was.
That really
It was. I picked girls that would seem tough to me and would be able to handle my rough exterior, my roughness. Not roughness physically. I don't like being rough physically, but I do get pushed to it. I'm not a woman beater. Not what the situation was. But when she left, I had to stop and start thinking, why? Because my daughter was still in her stomach. She wasn't born yet. Our daughter was still baking, so to speak, in lack of a better term. And I just kept partying for a little bit until a day came when I was at my friend's house and we just got done smoking crystal meth. And I went off on my own. And in my room, I sat down and just kept thinking about how much I already put into the gym and training, and how much I already put into the martial arts and boxing, and how much I put into myself for who I wanted to be, the role models I've had from Arnold Schwarzenegger to Jean-Claude Van Damme to Sylvester Stallone, Bruce Willis, yada yada. I can go on with them all. They're not all action stars. Cher, Tina Turner, there's some women in. They're not all actors and performers either. Harriet Tubman, but in order for me to reach, even the Dalai Lama, but for me to reach a somewhat of a spiritual level, there has to be self-honesty. You have to clean up the things that occupy your mind and rot your mind because you're so worried about how to maintain a lie or how to maintain the mask. Well, I had a picture, an image in my head of my daughter. And it was the first time that I've ever seen her smile. And she had her hair, it was long, it was hanging in front of her face. And it was from a picture that her mom shared with me. So that image never left my head that night. And I just broke out into tears and kept crying, thinking about, this isn't me. I just can't keep going. I can't do one more day of meth, being up, going out and partying and hooking up. It wasn't who I wanted to be. It wasn't my path. It didn't feel right. It wasn't comfortable. So I left. I told my friend, hey, can't do this. I have to leave. So I left. And what happened after I left is another story. I ended up in Key West, Florida. This was like November 2004. And I ended up in Key West December 2004. But to get back to my daughter's mom when she left me in the self-honesty in front of the mirror. Before any of that happened, before I even came to Key West, before all of that, I had to go in front of that mirror and I looked at myself because I always hear about people talking about you're beautiful, you're successful, you are strong in front of the mirror. And I'm like, this is a crock of shit. This doesn't really work. Get the hell out of here with that. You're just talking to yourself. I could do that without looking at a damn mirror and I could think it in my freaking head. Well, I wanted to try it. I'm up for trying things that are new. Obviously, I did adult film. Not something exactly I wanted to do, but it's something I did. Not a career I chose. I walked away from it. I stood in front of that mirror, and everything my daughter's mom said about me, that was true. That I felt was very true about myself. The negative things I admitted to in the mirror, and I kept saying that to myself over and over and over again, all the way into a fit of tears, tearing myself down for a moment, humbling myself. I didn't know I was doing that. I didn't know I was humbling myself. I didn't know I was really breaking myself down. I know now because it's years later and I've had time to think about it and figure it out. But the process still took its form. Nature took its course on me. My moral standing, my morals kicked in. After that day, I did not party for a little while. But that was my self-honesty day. I still did party, but that, I believe, was the decline in the excitement of it, the adventure. Because when I ended up at my friend's house, who owned an after-hours bar in Orlando, Florida, that's when the image of my daughter came in and the fact that I had already faced all these ugly things about myself, and they were eating at me and eating at me and eating at me. Finally, I was like, okay, gotta change. Get back in the gym. Get your ass back to training. Do the thing that you know best. Do the thing that comes so naturally to you. So that's what I did. And it led to more self-honesty, but some reckless behavior was still there. Reckless behavior had become a habit for me at a young age because I was always wanting to venture off and do something my own way. I never wanted to be settled down in one spot. I bounced around a lot. But that self-honesty drove me to when I would sit in jail, be honest with the guys in jail who are building themselves up to be some sort of big-time drug dealer or some big-time fighter or some big-time whatever the hell they want to brag about that they are. They weren't shit. They weren't anything more than me. They were sitting in the same damn jail with the same freaking door locked that they couldn't open, that I couldn't open, shitting in the same toilet in front of this person who's in their cell, just like I had to do in front of the person that was in my cell, in the same day room, talking to the same people, breathing the same nasty air, smelling the same farts. So, no matter who anybody builds himself up to be, what it comes down to is when you don't have all the luxuries and the distractions and the things that you want, everything that we all need is the same. We are all the same. So I would just be honest with them. This is what I'm here for. This is my life. This is who I am. The more I did that, the more empowered I felt about my decisions and the more confidence built up in me. Self-confidence is crucial with self-honesty. It's hand in hand. You can sit there and say you're self-confident all you want, but if you're not honest with yourself, you're not confident. Because you're not even confident enough to go and be honest with your freaking self. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't work. So self-honesty comes to everything that goes on in everybody's life, including with our pandemic that we have in this country right now and all around the world. What is going on with the protests, which are good protests, and the bad protests that turn into riots. And that's not a bad protest, but a protest that turns into riots. If you are being honest with yourself, a protest will not ever, if everybody's being honest with themselves during a protest will not ever have any energy to turn into a riot. Because what you are out there picketing for, what you're out there marching for, what you're out there protesting is the violence. So how is being violent going to tell somebody who you are saying stop being violent towards me going to get through? That's like telling a child not to hit their brother or sister and hit that child to teach them that lesson. Wait a minute, you just taught the child to hit. That hitting is the way you teach a lesson, so no wonder the child's hitting. Now, there are times for spankings, I get it. But you can't spank a child and tell a child not to hit if you're hitting. There needs to be a better way. And they're like, well, what's the better way? Well, you're human. You can't figure out a better way. You're smart. Are you saying you're stupid? Are you saying you're not able to comprehend how to sit down with your child and speak? If that child still doesn't listen, continue. Repetition. Repetition. Just like the gym. Just like everything people do in their lives. Even those who make big money. I don't know if there's ever anything called honesty when making big money. I don't know. But I do know that the people who make that big money repeat and repeat and repeat the pattern that got them the first big money. Yeah. Everything is repetition. So therefore, if you are so strong, if you are such a good person and you're out there protesting and you stand for what you say is justice and right, then be honest with yourself. And the more honest you are with yourself, each individual being honest with themselves and looking out for themselves as a person of morals, of a good moral standing, there's no room for a riot to break out because everybody is being honest. They're pissed off, they're angry, but you don't express it by throwing bricks through somebody else's business. Because what you've just done is you have essentially punched your neighbor or your fellow community member in the face, even if you physically didn't do it.
Well, though those people might not be even from that community, though, you know.
And if they're not from that community and they're doing that,
yeah,
there's still no excuse. I don't care if they're not from the community.
No.
Okay, even if they didn't, I'm saying what you're saying is if they throw the brick through the window, they're not from the community. I get it.
They might go there just to do that, you know.
Right. So those are the people who really need to hear this and shut their freaking mouth. Stop bitching about the racism. Because if you're going to bitch about racism and then throw a brick through a fucking window, who's going to listen to you? Nobody. Yeah, because you're behaving in a way that shuts people off.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're conservative, Republican, or independent. That makes sense for everybody across the aisle. If you're racist, fine, be racist. But don't hide. If you don't like black people, you don't like Hispanics, you want to call them derogatory names, don't hide. Stop hiding. You don't see racist people walking around saying, I'm racist. Hey, no. I don't like you because of your color. They hide because they know it's wrong. They know it's shameful, but they do it anyway because they want to piss people off. There is no, I got to preserve my people, but preserve my color. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Let's just be real. You're doing it to cause an issue from an insecurity you have within yourself. And that is self-honesty. If you are able to be honest with yourself, say, yeah, you know what? I am insecure because that black guy has a bigger dick. Or that black guy likes my girlfriend. Or he maybe take my girlfriend because he's a better person than me. I can see better in him than I see in me. Well, then fix you. Don't get mad at him and say, oh, well, he's bad because he's black or Hispanic or white. Because to tell you the truth, I have been discriminated against from black people, white people, and Hispanic people. I have all three races in me.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. It makes no sense because nobody is 100% anything but 100% human. But not everybody is 100% humane.
Yeah.
And that should be the goal. And the only way to be 100% humane is self-honesty. Everything ties into self-honesty. Everything. Everything we do, everything we want to stand for, everything we fight for has to do with self-honesty. Doesn't mean you're being honest with yourself, but lying to yourself falls into the category of self-honesty. You're doing the opposite. Self-honesty means being honest enough to say, I'm not honest enough with myself. When you do that, you shut your friggin' ego off, you shut your mouth, you take your licks. Big deal. So somebody called you a faggot. Somebody called you a nigger. Somebody called you a honky. So fucking what? Okay, you're going to fight about it and go to jail? Oh, ain't no one going to disrespect me. Oh, I'm gangster, huh? What is that? You're gangster? Okay, great. So you're violent. Great. You're feeding the narrative that you don't like. You are giving ammunition to your enemy by acting a fool and not being honest enough to say, you know what? I'm bigger than that word. Now, I know what the word nigger means. I know the history. I get it. Obviously, I get it because I've been called it. But I work on not letting it affect me in the way that the person who is saying it to me wants me to be affected by it. I don't walk around ignoring it like it's not being said, but I don't engage in the person, in the confrontation, the situation, in the way that I'm expected to. Okay, so you called me nigger. Here's a box of Crayola crayons, the one that has all the damn colors in it. Little sharpener in the back, right? A little crayon sharpener in the back. By all means, pull out the one that says nigger. You gonna be able to do it? No, because there's no such color. It means what it means, and it's in the Bible. Yeah, it's in the dictionary, and it means ignorant, misinformed. Ignorant, misinformed means you didn't get the education you needed to be smart enough to know and be informed. Therefore, it falls into the category of being identified by black people being identified by this word because they weren't allowed to get an education during slavery. They were starved of brain food. They were starved of everything, but they were starved of education. They weren't allowed to learn. So they were considered not superior or whatever you'd want to call them, lesser than. I mean, there's so many words. Inadequate, whatever. That's just ignorant. There is no superiority. There's no superior race, because if there was a superior race, again, self-honesty, that superior race would have all the problems fixed. Oh, well, the problem is just kill them all. Just kill them all. Just get rid of them all. Yeah, okay. I'll tell you what. You don't have to kill us all. Everybody of color, let's all get together. We will leave the country. We will go someplace else. We'll find our own place. But everything we built, everything a black man, a Hispanic, an Asian, everybody who is not white, everything you built, we get to tear down. Trump Towers, Trump's golf courses, New York City, Boston.
Yeah, that's
everything.
Stupid.
We get to tear it down.
Nah.
And you get to rebuild it yourself. If you're superior, you can rebuild it with no problem. Right? You're superior. That's not what I mean. Well, that's what superior means. I don't want to hear the nonsense, people. Be honest with yourself. You're not superior. You're just insecure. Everything falls into self-honesty. And that's why I put some of my dirty laundry out there, to let people know I'm not afraid of self-honesty. I'm not just here talking shit. Be honest with yourself. Stop fighting in the street and saying you're tough. You're gangster. I shot this dude. Yo, be part of this gang. Nobody else likes you. We're gonna love you. But you're gonna do things our way. well, then you're not a person. You're not an individual, and you're not honest.
Well,
I'm not honest about everything
I think
because
that,
I'm human. I'm flawed, but I try very hard to be honest. Go ahead.
well, I think pretty soon this kind of talk will be passé because we all gonna be like brown race, you know, the whole
But that's
world
what they're afraid of.
will mix together. Well, they're afraid it doesn't.
And I say they being those who
That-
want
that
to be racist and
doesn't matter if
segregate.
doesn't matter if they're afraid it's gonna happen. You know, and you might want it, you might not want it. You know, it's already happening, right? It's
Right.
You know, like you said, you have
Can't go backwards.
You have all the races inside of you.
Yes,
you
I
know?
have.
So-
Okay, so for instance, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I have a large percent of the largest percent of me is Brazilian, but then there's Asian, African, something out in near Jordan. I'm not exactly sure which one that is, Turkish or Jordan in me. Egyptian is in me, so I'm mixed.
Yeah, but also you said Brazilian. Brazilian itself
Brazilian-
is mixed from
Thank
many
you,
races,
and
right?
that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to get at. So, oh, I'm
So-
100% Brazilian. Okay, so what does that mean?
Yeah, exactly. You have white Brazilians.
You're a
You
pit
have
bull.
you have
You're a
black
pit bull.
Brazilians. Yeah.
You are a pit bull, which everything we're going to talk
Yeah.
about, everything here, everything I speak, ties into the next. There's not one damn thing on this planet that's not connected to the next. You can't call a pit bull because a pit bull is not a real breed. It is a name they gave a dog that they threw into a pit to fight. Pit bull is made up of more than one type of breed.
Yes,
It's mixed.
mixed.
So your American Staffy could be called a pit bull because people are ignorant and don't realize what they're saying. It's American Staffy. It's mixed.
Like a Stafford
Bull
Terrier, Bull
and a
Terrier,
bulldog
American
are mixed.
Terrier.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
They're mixed. Everything is mixed.
Yeah.
To have a problem with something that's mixed is like having a problem being alive on the planet. Are you kidding me? What's not mixed? Prove to me that something is pure. The only thing that's pure is self-honesty. The reason it's pure is because it makes you face reality. One that might not be so pretty, but that's your reality. You freaking created it. You are who you are. You made your decisions. So that's your ugliness you have to face. This sort of your bed, now you gotta lie in it type of thing. Okay, your bed, now you gotta lie in it. You made it. But you also get to get out of that bed, mess it up, and make it again. Just because you've made your bed and you have to lie in it doesn't mean you have to stay in it. Get the hell out of that freaking bed. Go out there. You're going to get a messy bed again. Clean the bed up. Make your bed again, but make it better. Get the wrinkles out of it. Pull the corners in. Tuck the pillows. Now you got a neat bed. Why? Because you're being honest about it. You were honest that you didn't make a good bed the first time. No one does anything right the first time.
Yes, exactly. So, don't you think this is kind of it's the matter of growing up? You know, like young people, they're always be different.
Yes,
know?
but that's not being taught to them.
But that honesty will slowly creep in. You know, so
But that's the problem. It's
It's-
slowly creeping. Why does it have to be a slow process? It doesn't have to be a fast process.
no.
But it needs to be taught. It needs to be spoken of. People aren't speaking enough. And that's why I like to use the title, Truth to Power, Power to Truth. If you speak truth, you gain power. If you gain power, then you will speak truth because you have the power to speak that truth. That only comes from self-honesty. Everything that comes down to what we do in our daily life and the decisions we make comes to self-honesty, whether it's ugly or beautiful. We're the ones making the decision. You need to step up and own it.
Well, would you project that to politics?
That's where it needs to project the most. Don't lie and say, oh, well, we gave you a black president. No, you didn't give anybody anything. He was elected. Barack Obama was elected. Don't sit here and tell me that you are mad because of his policies. Now, I don't agree with all his policies. There's not one politician on the freaking planet that's ever been around since I've been alive, even when that have passed, when I wasn't around, that I agree with. Not every policy is someone supposed to agree with.
But have they been
But-
honest?
No, and that's
Any
what I'm coming to.
politician?
But the
Yeah.
politicians should be honest and say, okay, you know what?
Shoot.
We're mad because you elected a black man, and that makes us feel threatened. Be honest. If these politicians could be honest and say what's really on their mind, like Mitch McConnell should do, like those who whispered in Barack Obama's ear when he was honest about this and said he was told, we don't believe you belong here. We don't feel like you belong here. You whispered it in the man's ear. Say it out loud, you fucking coward. Say it out loud. Be who you are. Politicians, don't lie to us. Donald Trump, stop fucking lying. What are you lying about? You're lying because you're scared. You're scared because you're a coward. You're a coward because you're not honest with yourself. You're insecure.
Well, it's a game. They want to get re-elected. They want to get
But
elected.
I don't
They
care.
wanna,
Then say
you know?
it's a game. I guarantee you find a politician who's honest, and speaks about their disgustingness. It doesn't have to be the word disgustingness. It could be their unpleasantness, their baggage, their whatever. Be honest about it. When you're upfront about it, nobody can hurt you. And I learned that as well from Eminem in 8 Mile. I love using this. This man in 8 Mile, at the end of the movie, knew what was going to be said about him. He knew it. He was smart enough to realize this rap battle is all about dissing the next cat.
Yeah.
You can't diss me if everything you're going to say about me is already out there and I'm honest about it and it's up front in everybody's face. What you going to say? You going to rap about me being honest about myself? You going to try to make fun of that? Go ahead and make fun of the fact that I did an adult film. Go make fun of the fact that you banged my girl. Go ahead. So what? Look what you're bragging about. But look what I'm doing. I'm honest. I'm straight up. I am keeping it real.
That's right. It's kind of like I've always said that too. You know, if you know who you are, nobody can hurt you in any way. If they say you're fat, but let's say you know you are.
Right.
So what's the problem?
So what's the
it's
problem?
true.
Do you have a
You
problem
know?
with the way I'm living my life? Well, yes. Well, that's because you're not paying attention enough to your own life and dealing with your own shit. So you worry about mine. You want me to be more like you. Well, you know what? Republicans say, well, there's too many regulations and we're about freedom and freedom to hunt here and freedom to dig for oil here. Freedom, freedom, freedom. That's not freedom when you're telling other people they have to live by the way you want them to live.
Yes.
And Democrats, not everything can be for free. Not everything is liberal. Not everything can be make all your decisions you want. Do what you want to do. Live how you want to live. Because you can't allow people to live violently, cause animals to suffer, fight dogs, and for instance, and that's a big one for me, fighting dogs. Don't be black or a man of any type of color and fight dogs and bitch about racism. How dare you? You are fighting an animal. You are making a dog do something it doesn't want to do. Oh, well, they're bred for it and it's culture. Slavery was fucking culture before. And it wasn't accepted. It was outlawed. Okay? So I don't want to hear that nonsense. You are doing exactly what was done to our ancestors. You are enslaving that animal and treating it like it's lesser than you, and it's not. It is probably the closest thing you have to God because it loves unconditionally. And if you don't believe in God, you don't believe in anything, you're an atheist, well then just do to yourself. You want to say nothing's going to happen when I die? Well then go jump off a bridge. Do us all a favor and just off yourself because nothing's going to happen. Nobody's going to care. Right?
Now, the empathy is not just for Christians or God believers. You know, everybody is empathetic, even if you're, atheist. It doesn't matter. Usually, you still have feelings, emotions.
Thank you.
And you feel that's wrong. You know,
Yeah.
it's just the human feeling. You know, it's you don't need to believe in any
No,
guy up in the
there
sky
doesn't have
that's
to be a guy up in
watches
the
over-
sky.
Yeah.
But there is, in my belief, a higher power. And then I don't want to call it higher. There is a power. We all have the same colored blood. We all have the same amount of body parts. Yes, there are birth defects. Yes, there are issues. I'm not talking about those. But we all have to breathe air. We all do feel suffering.
Yes.
I don't want people to sit there and say, oh, well, animals or dogs don't feel pain the same way. Well, I don't feel pain the same way as you. Oh, well, the pit bull's jaw locks and it's unfair. And, well, you know what? Go tell Jean-Claude Van Damme, and if Bruce Lee was here, I would tell you, go tell Bruce Lee, go tell Wesley Snipes, go tell Arnold Schwarzenegger that Arnold Schwarzenegger's size and strength and Van Damme's kicks and Bruce Lee's kicks, they have to die because it's unfair. They're stronger, they're faster, they're more limber than you. Go tell them it's unfair. See where that gets you. Stop worrying about what's fair and worry about taking care of you and being self-honest. And the more that you are doing that, the more you're taking care of your neighbor, because your neighbor's doing the same thing. And you're not judging that person. Oh, well, the Bible says that. You know what? You don't know what the real Bible says because it's what you believe. How many times has the Bible been rewritten? Over and over and over and over again. So how much has really changed in it? We don't know the truth because people lie. The church lies. I'm not saying the church is bad. I'm saying there's such a game going on to control people that it's turned into well, it's whatever you believe. No, it's what you feel. And if you feel it's okay that you're fighting dogs and you're raping women or you're molesting children or you're being violent, then you need to check yourself, because the rest of us who want to live next to somebody and not worry about them breaking into our house don't have to put up with it. We don't have to put up with it. But doesn't mean we have to react in the same way. And it doesn't mean we have to pay for your imprisonment. For what? Why are you sitting in prison? Go be done with you. If this is how you want to be, and you don't want to change, and you're a sociopath, you're narcissistic, and you're about causing suffering, go cause yourself to suffer. Not us. Because to be so violent, to be so disrespectful and disregard other life, just because God said take dominion over life, dominion does not mean destroy. You didn't create it. You have no right to take it. And if you don't believe anything's going to happen, and you don't believe in God, fine. But you still didn't create it, so you don't get the right to destroy it. Oh, well, I created my child. No, you didn't. You would have created that child without the woman. I don't care what you say.
Now, I know you're very protective of dogs, right?
Yes.
So let's poke into it a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. I mean, you just compared like dog fighting to a raping a woman,
yes.
Right? There's a lot of societies where the dog fighting is allowed and it's kind of like a family outing, but they still don't let people rape or do murders, So they kind of see it. There's societies that see it differently, right?
Okay.
But you can
name me some of those societies and show me those people.
Yeah,
let me see how they live.
There might be evil in some people, but it's a bit of a difference when you compare like a human to a dog, right?
No, it's not.
Well, the law says there is.
That's
right?
the law. The law is created by man.
Yeah, exactly.
But the law of the land is not the law of the universe.
No, not of.
Okay?
But you are not the speaker.
I am the universe.
Speaker
we
for
each
the
are
universe.
We are each the universe. We are each made up of everything that makes up the universe. We know that.
But
we know that because of the elements.
Well,
water.
You can try to change the law. That's right. So if you see it this way, Well, actually,
law, change humanity.
Well,
change humanity.
Well, but here in this country, I think it is against the law, right?
Yeah.
To fight dogs, right? Let's say in Japan, it's not, So
China.
What can you do about them?
I'm not innocent about everything. I'm not innocent about having a violent temper, but I'm honest about it, and I work on changing it because I don't like it. It's not who I want to be. I can go break a bunch of people. I survived a broken neck in a fight against 3 people.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so I understand violence very well.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why you're against it.
Those people who are enjoying this death and the tearing up of dogs, dogs tearing each, are freaking cowards. Because they're not going to go fight somebody in the same way.
No.
They're not going to step in the ring and fight somebody who they don't know. They're teaching their child violence. They might be training the next Jeffrey Dahmer.
Well, but
that's just because there's people in another country think it's a family outing or it's something to do. Let me see how that person lives. Let me see what type of person that really is. Let's see their self-honesty.
But what about like very popular MMA? People go watch two guys beat shit out of each other. Violence. Yep. They go to watch violence. It's like a dog fight. Yep. Only people.
Yep.
And you have.
So what's the difference?
Yeah, exactly. There's an audience.
Here's the difference.
Where's the difference? Exactly.
Those two who are getting in that ring to fight each other, Conor McGregor and whoever.
Yeah.
George St. Pierre and whoever, made the conscious decision to sign that contract and go in that ring and do it.
Yes, but
a dog's not making the conscious decision to go and fight. It's being forced to fight.
No.
It's being inbred to fight.
Listen, my point being that the people in the audience also
they're watching two people who chose to do it.
Yes, but they're not going there to fight themselves. They still gonna be saying,
still agree.
"Oh, that guy sucks. That guy's good."
I agree. They're gonna make
beat the shit out of him.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But
And
they
if they-
don't. They're cowards. They just sit and watch.
They're sitting and watching
The
a
same-
fight where two people who are
Yeah,
the
they-
equal to them on the level of being able to speak
Consenting
English
adults,
and say that
yes,
hurts,
yes,
and have
yeah.
a referee to
Yes,
stop it,
yes.
and not get slammed on the mat
Yeah,
when they
yeah.
when they lose. Dogs are being
Yeah.
tortured when they lose. Dogs are going with their faces torn off.
No, of course,
These guys
of
aren't
course.
leaving the ring with their faces
no,
torn
no.
off.
That-
These guys aren't getting ripped apart.
That's much worse. But what I,
But you can't separate it. You can't
Well,
separate it because that's what
but-
makes the difference.
but what I'm getting to is people liking violence.
People are
be it the
always doing-
dogs
people have always
or-
have since way back in the gladiator days.
Exactly.
I get that.
But to me,
But-
it seems like that's the part you don't like. You
It's
want
not
people
that.
to be nicer
It's
to each
the
other.
intent. It's the intent.
Intent to like
You
violence.
enjoying watching these dogs tear each other up is not the same as watching Conor McGregor knock somebody out and the referee stop it. It is not the same.
Isn't not the
The
same
person enjoying that is not the same excitement. You're
I
not.
don't
You're
know.
seeing blood, but you're
Yeah.
not seeing somebody's eye come out.
No,
And
no,
you're not
no.
throwing the person on the side of the fucking road and abandoning it, and you're not raising it and with love. Or, for instance, people go and take other people's dogs and use them for bait. Why don't you use your own arm for bait?
Because that's
Use your own arm for
different.
bait, coward. Put a dog suit on. Let the dog come at you and attack you, because you know the dog will learn to attack people. You want the dog to attack other animals and other things that are smaller or of equal size. Why don't you do it? Stop making the dog do something that you're not willing to do. Stop making the dog be what your ancestors were meant to be, which is a slave to violence and death. Two people choosing to get into a ring or two people choosing to get in a ring. People enjoying that as a sport is because these two people have trained to do it. To say that a dog attacks another dog that's a bait dog is not training. It's torture. It's causing suffering. That dog is somebody's pet, or that dog is a stray. You're abandoning animals. You're throwing them out of cars after they've lost fights. What Michael Vick and his family did to dogs is absolutely disgusting. And you have the nerve to call yourself a decent person? I don't know how much apologizing Mike Vick has done. I don't know the man. But I see the actions. And I will judge off of action. I will judge off of actions and intent. Oh, you don't know what was in my brain. Yes, I do, because you're acting it out. What's in your brain, you are doing. What's in my brain to do to you for dog fighting, not to you, of course, my friend, to do to these people who are dog fighting, I don't act on. Because if I did, I'd be seen as, I'd be seen as one nasty, nasty person.
Well, I'm sure
It's
you
good that I'm
would.
not Superman, because I wouldn't be Mr. Nice Superman.
I'm sure you would try to do it to me too. But okay. What do you say to that? People's been breeding the dogs for thousands of years for various purposes, right? Not just for fighting, but let's say they were breeding like Chihuahua. They were breeding the dog to catch the goose that they shot and stuff like that, right? So all the dogs were bred for
Hunting
thousands,
dogs. Well, go to hunting dogs then.
many different
Beagles.
purposes, right?
Okay, but you're hunting.
To
You're
get
gonna
a
eat that.
to get a badger, to get a red terriers, you know. And then they bred the dogs,
you're keeping
especially
disease
for
out of your
fights
house.
too.
You're keeping disease out of your house when you got a rat terrier. You're keeping rats out.
Yeah, but
the gophers out of your garden. I know.
Yeah, but-
Listen,
but they
my brother
bred-
broke a board, or Guy Pickard, my brother or our friend Guy Pickard, broke a 2x4 over a gopher's head in our backyard because they're eating my mom's vegetables in the garden.
Yeah.
Hurt me beyond belief. But I understood why it happened. I understand the reason. The reason may not have even been the best reason to me, because the gopher's got to eat too. You're mad at it for eating? You want to kill it because it's taking your veggies? Oh, so now all of a sudden you're greedy. You can't spare a few carrots. Now, yes, I know they tear up your garden. I know they can tear things
destroy
up.
the
I
whole
can destroy
garden.
everything. I get that.
And then you don't
But there
eat.
are better ways to do it.
Then you don't eat.
There are better ways to do it.
If you had no food,
There's always
you'd
a
kill all the
better
gophers.
way.
Oh.
And people are too
Well-
quick to settle
well-
on the easy, quick answer. And then they want to justify it by making up a bunch of nonsense that they want to call as facts of why they did it. Oh, well, it needed to be done because, the population's getting too big. Well, who are you to judge the population of something? Now, granted, they don't need to be in bed. You don't have to have a family of 20 gophers, 100 gophers in your backyard or 1,000 rats running around in the city of New York in your apartment. I get it. You got to control that. But to go out and trophy hunt, to go out and just kill to kill.
No, that's different. That's different. You know,
Okay.
let's say you're a farmer and you have whatever sheep.
I live next to a farm. I get it.
And let's say there's wolves and they keep killing your sheep,
Okay,
so you will not make a living, you know. So,
No,
so
I
you
get it.
have to
So
try
what?
to shoot them. You have to
Okay, I get that.
poison them. You know, you have to.
Poison them. No, you don't have to poison them.
It's not a good thing. I'm saying it's not a good thing to
And the
kill
traps,
wolves.
don't
right?
trap it in a way that's going to make it suffer.
No,
That's wrong.
I,
But I get that. Protecting
Yeah.
your land, protecting your
Yeah.
stock, fine. But far too often, that has been used as an excuse to do unnecessary, unneeded violence and cause suffering to the animal. Just because you're pissed off. I had 3 pit bulls. One passed away April 29th of lymphoma cancer, and he was a rescue from fighters.
Yeah.
He got along with my other dogs. And yes, I did use the term pit bull so that people understand what type of dog I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he bit my American Staffy twice. My American Staffy went after him once or twice. I stopped it quickly. But he was doing what he was taught. He learned a better way, because there is a better way, like I just said. He got along with him splendidly. I bawled my eyes out when he had to be put down. But they did it at my house. And yes, I saved his ashes. He's home. The fact that he was taught something and reacted out of that would be judged by people because of what they see him do. What they don't see is how much he cuddled, how much he remorse. He would go into a corner and put his head down afterwards. After he would get in trouble from me with the other dogs.
No, but
He was very docile with people.
but
Others aren't, I know.
But
I get it.
look at this situation, okay? If you have a human and he's docile most of his life and then he murders somebody, you judge him on what he did. That one time.
Okay.
You, I
But
mean,
I'm
he
not
might,
just judging
you know
the
what I
action.
mean?
I'm
Right?
judging the intent. I'm judging the reason. I'm judging
Yeah.
not the excuse, the reason.
So
And
you-
the reason better be a really good reason. So I was just saying, yes, I've gotten mad at my dogs. I've even overpunished.
Yeah.
But I've never hurt my dogs where they need to go to the vet, or I break something on them, or I hit them with something very big and hard and cause them so much pain. My one American Staffy, I could like that, and he's going to yipe. It's just the way he is. He doesn't like it. Doesn't deal with the pain. Doesn't like it.
Yeah.
My blue pit will not yipe. He very barely makes noise. Jaquito, the red nose that passed, he barely would make noise. He yiped maybe a handful of times the whole time I had him. My intent isn't to hurt them. My intent is to get their attention and let them know it's bad. My self-honesty tells the audience, tells you, tells me, hey, you overdid it. Sometimes my friends even tell me, hey, you're overdoing it or you overdid it. And I get upset. I get because I'm mad. I'm freaking stark raving mad. I'm breaking my own stuff. I'm throwing dishes. I'm angry at the dog. I'm chasing out the house. Stop shitting on my fucking bed. Stop peeing on my bed. Why'd you pee on the fucking bed? I don't know. Okay. Control myself though. I'm human. I have the ability to gauge that.
And control the dog.
And I'm
Don't
hyperactive.
pee on your bed.
I grew up on Ritalin, okay? I grew up hyperactive. I grew up ADHD. So, as an adult, I was supposedly diagnosed as bipolar 1.
Well, I'm glad
But the
it
doctor
didn't.
said no, it's not really that. It's the stress. The stress of not, I ran away at age 16. There was a lot of stress in my life that needed to be sorted out. That's all. And I've sorted a lot out. Self-medicating with marijuana, alcohol, crystal meth. Yeah, those are self-medications. None of them worked. Even marijuana. I met this young woman from Denmark. We met online. That is the perfect woman for me. I have smoked maybe 2 or 3 times in the past 6 weeks, 5 weeks that we've met.
What was it before?
Before, every day, I get home at lunchtime, I'd smoke. I wake up in the morning, I smoke. I get home at night, I smoke. A joint, a blunt, back to back, a bowl, until I go to sleep. Then my ounce of weed is gone within a day and a half, if that. 2 days sometimes, if I'm lucky.
It's a great achievement. This.
It was dealing with what I wasn't dealing with. And yeah, I was missing having that wonderful woman there, the one who matches me, the one who, not everything is agreed upon with us, But so much points to we are the male and female version of each other that you focus so much on the energy, the connection, the self-honesty, that I don't have time to go and smoke. I don't have the desire to go and smoke. I'm getting out within me what has been starving to be talked about because I have somebody I can trust, because that person's not judging me, because that person is self-honest as well. I'm not hiding a payoff to a porn star. I'm not hiding facts about a pandemic from people because I want power. I'm not hiding things that are happening in Benghazi, Syria. I'm not hiding truth. I'm giving you truth. No matter how much it hurts, no matter what the cost is, it's not going to be greater than the cost to yourself for not being honest. You may think you're getting away with it, but you're not. You're messing other people up. That's not getting away with it. Not getting away with anything. Same thing with people who are fighting dogs. You want to fight dogs? Make that money? Maybe the IRS needs to come after you and take that money for the taxes you owe on it that you've made. What you going to do then? If you're so honest, if it's part of culture, taxes is a part of culture too. Yeah, well, so is crime and lying and blah, blah. Yeah. So what? Let's keep the bad things in culture going? The things that are destroying us? Let's keep fighting about the same thing over and over and over again, racism? Let it go, people. Let it go. So what? Somebody's a different color than you. How many white people out there go out to the beach to tan? Why are you tanning if you don't like black people, if you don't like the color? Oh, it's the behavior. It's what's in them. It's how they behave. Okay, I can go find many white people that misbehave. The Zodiac Killer, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
Want me to keep going?
You don't have to list like serial killers. You can just go
Why?
around, you know.
Why? White people are supposed to be superior, and they're talking about how great they are and how bad black people are and people of color are.
No,
Wait a minute.
that's not true.
Serial
yeah.
killers are in every race.
Mostly white.
Yes.
White. Exactly.
And if we are being so honest,
Serial killers.
how did this country come about? Let's go beyond slavery. Whose land was this? And oh, well, it was paid for. No. People were conned out of the land. They were given something that the land and that did not equal the land. The price paid was not what it was worth. Oh, well, they took it. They took the deal.
Like,
Okay, well, then I can go rip you off too, and you can't get mad and call the police and say that I had this dummy corporation and ripped off millions of dollars because, hey, I conned you. It's mine now.
you know what actually happened with like Native Indians? Because they didn't know the concept of that somebody owns a piece of land.
Correct.
So they were thinking that the white people are stupid to give them money for the land that was nobody's.
It's nobody's land.
Exactly, because they were nomads.
Well,
but they woke up to pretty rough, you know.
right, but they were living with the planet.
They were.
These people,
Yeah.
yes, the
Well-
white people who came,
Well, you say
wanted to own the
you,
planet.
You can say us, aren't we American as well? Don't say
yes,
them.
us.
It's,
Well,
it's
I wasn't alive then.
Me
So,
neither. But
My
I would still
ancestors
say
were
us.
wrong.
Yeah,
My ancestors were wrong
but
for what
it's-
they did.
but
Yes,
it still was
self-honesty
us,
people.
you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
I was just wrong right
Self-
there. Yes,
Exactly. Self-honesty.
absolutely.
you know?
My ancestors were wrong. They were wrong. So we got to take the next step.
Well, they had
That
their,
comes after self-honesty.
but they had their
What do you do to
reasons,
fix it?
right? They had their reasons. You know, we
It
all
doesn't
know
just
history,
because you have a reason
right?
for something. I mean, I have a reason for killing the scorpion that was
Yeah.
in my house and it almost stung
Yep,
me.
yeah, but they were escaping whatever that religious persecution, right, and all that. So they were escaping from oppression
To
and
go oppress
to
somebody
go
else.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
I mean, how asinine is that?
That-
Where is the common sense in that? Where is the sensibility in any of that? It's not there.
It's just about surviving. It's about
No.
survival, about procreation.
It is and it isn't. Survival doesn't mean destroy. Human nature is to destroy.
Yes. So,
But everything lives to die.
yeah,
Doesn't mean you make the decision. Who put you in charge?
not me,
Not you.
but
not anybody.
but within limits, you are in charge.
Of you
And
only.
And
You only.
Well,
you.
not in
You're
that.
not in charge of anything else.
Not in that case when they came over to.
But even then, no, they were only in charge of them. They were only in charge of them. They chose to be in charge
Yes.
of other things.
Yes.
But nobody put them in charge. Nobody said they were superior. Why? Because you got a gun? That makes you superior?
Nobody can put anybody.
Well, I
in
got
charge.
six-pack abs, and I've had them for 30 freaking years. I busted my ass in the gym. And I eat what I want. Okay? So I'm superior. I'm better. No, I'm not. Because I suffered a broken neck. I'm human. I have torn shoulders.
Well,
I had torn muscles. I'm human.
You have certain
I made-
genetics that make
I will
you
give that some
different,
credit.
different, not superior.
I will give that a little bit of
but
credit.
different. You might be
Different is not superior, exactly.
You might be superior in your six pack. Somebody else is superior because
But
he's
how
a
is that superior?
doctor. You know,
How is that superior?
Well, not
Please.
superior,
Okay.
but different.
Let's be careful of the words now.
Different. Yeah.
Different.
Okay, different. You know,
But I'm not different because there's many people who have six-pack.
yeah.
And not everybody was born to have a six-pack. Not everybody even wants a six-pack. But don't sit there and put yourself on some sort of pedestal because your differences get more attention from other people.
Well, that's what
That's
most
ridiculous.
people base everything on, though. right?
Attention. I need
Yeah.
attention.
It's all
Give
about the-
yourself attention.
All about the clicks. It's all
Give
about the
yeah,
clicks.
all about being cool.
Yeah.
Well, how cool is it once
Likes,
those people stab you in the
clicks, right?
back?
Let's take a little break.
Let's take a break.
I'll check everything. You want something to drink?
No, I got it here.
Let's see.
I keep something playing.
All right, we're back with Ryan here, and we're gonna try to talk a little bit about us and them,
Us and they.
us and they.
Yes.
So,
We
Go.
brought this up. On our break, it was brought to my attention that I used the term they. And in doing so, again to self-honesty, I was brought to my attention that that can be misconstrued, or not even misconstrued, but interpreted, better word, as me being superior than somebody else. Because I say they, and then I say me. So, the truth is, it's we, just like Muhammad Ali said when he was asked a certain question of, geez, I can't remember the question right now, but that's okay. His answer to the question was we, me, we. Basically, he's saying, I am you, you are me, we are all one.
okay.
That's what it comes to. We're all connected. Me, we, me.
I think it's connected to, like you said, we must not be afraid to blame ourselves as well as other people.
As well as other
you know?
people.
So
Take self-responsibility.
So always say, you know, in certain situation, it's our fault instead of it's their fault.
Because we're carrying on the tradition. We're carrying on the nonsense. So there's a song that came on while I was at work, and it was in my ear. Blew my mind. And I'm not going to say the artist because I don't know the ramifications or the laws on being able to do that. But I will say the song's name. It's called I Don't Give a Fuck About They. And that's how everybody should feel and think. Who gives a fuck about they? It's about you. Not you, but it's about you, how you treat you, how you are behaving, how you are reacting, controlling you in the way you react to things. You take care of you, you're not worried about they. They becomes irrelevant because they are actually the middleman. And everybody always wants to cut out the middleman. Well, in this instance, the middleman causes a lot of problems, so we don't need they. So I agree. I cannot point my finger at anything anybody has done and try to judge them because I have my own faults. But I can say through my experiences what it makes me feel when I see people do certain things because I'm held to the same law as everybody else. So if I have to follow these rules of law, the law is not perfect, but to stay in line with it as much as possible, to not try to always maneuver around it and go into this blue collar and white collar crime type of mentalities, will put everybody in a better position of self-responsibility. take responsibility for yourself. You're not worried about they. You can't point a finger and say, well, they did it too, and the whataboutism. What do you mean, what about? Why is it always when somebody brings something up about a situation, a topic, an issue, you always got to say, well, what about this? Well, you always want to point a finger back at somebody. Yeah, the whole trick of three fingers pointing back at you. Okay, well, what if somebody points like this? Okay, that's silly. We both know that when you take self-responsibility, you gain something from that. Just because you don't gain it right away doesn't mean you're not gaining from it. To be strong enough to take responsibility and say you did this, not all these good things about you, but the good thing, the bad things as well as the good, owning it, they becomes irrelevant. Too much focus is on trying to please they and impress they, or sometimes blame they, or the whataboutism. Stop saying that. You can't say, well, what about when Barack Obama used executive powers? What about? You know what? That's nonsense. That's such a cop-out. That's such a way around talking about truth and facing self and being honest with yourself that it's like talking with diarrhea in your mouth. You're just talking shit. And it's coming all out, and it's making a mess, and it's not getting you anywhere. There's this song that is one of my favorite songs, and it is called The Incredible True Story by Logic. I encourage everybody to listen to that. And I encourage everybody to read the book called The Four Agreements. Just do those two things. Read the Four Agreements with an open mind, not judging it. Don't judge anything until you're done with it. And listen to the song, The Incredible True Story by Logic. And you will hear a man speak a speech that is, to me, extremely profound. To me. Because he speaks of the proverbial circle, the loop people get stuck in doing the same thing over and over and over again, teaching your kids that same loop, thinking that you're going to get somewhere different. One of the parts of that speech says, it's like throwing up. It's all retch and no vomit. But you're never throwing up. You're always going after trying to do something for the money and get ahead of somebody and be on top instead of doing the thing that you love, the thing that makes you happy. If killing makes you happy, you need to check yourself. You got some issues, okay? But it's this thing that money makes people do, which is chase. Just like a crackhead chasing that high. If you're doing something just for the money, you're missing the whole point. And you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to teach it. Oh, well, I'm rich. I got somewhere. You didn't get anywhere. Who are you? What happens when you don't have that money? You're going to jump off a bridge and kill yourself because you're not rich anymore? Because you're on top of the world? Because people are admiring you? If you have self-honesty, if you have yourself, you're not worried about what they will think about you when you don't have that money. You won't worry about image. You're worried about you. And how decent of a person are you truly?
Well, the
next person.
trouble in this is that most of the people do jobs that they don't want to do, and they do it really just for money, because there's just, for a lot of people, there's just no way out. Not everybody can do what they love. That would be like the perfect situation. Everybody doing what they love.
But it's possible. If you listen to that song
and don't
you
care
hear
about
that
the
speech,
money, you know. Well, yeah.
you understand.
The song, yeah.
Because it speaks of that as well. Mm-hmm. If you just do the thing that you love. Some people really do love to serve other people and help other people. Those who work at McDonald's. There's some people who really love to just help you and take your order and get you your food and let you go on your way. There's some people who actually really love to do that. But there's some people who love to farm. I don't love farming. I fucking hate farming. I had to bale hay when I was a kid. I hate it. But people love it. There's always somebody who's going to be interested in what it is that you do. It doesn't have to be everybody. It doesn't have to be great numbers. But no matter what, if you do what it is that makes you happy, then somebody will be interested in it. Even if it's drawing flowers or putting up drywall or running a business. somebody will enjoy and love it too.
Well, see, therein lies a problem. Like you
Let's
said,
see.
you said be honest, right?
Yes, let's go.
What I love to do is to be actor like you, to shoot movies, to be in a theater. I was not able to make my living by doing that.
Why?
So, because I'm not good enough.
Boom!
I
You
guess.
just killed yourself.
Yeah,
You just shot yourself in the head.
but well, I try. The thing is,
You're not good enough because somebody else set a standard that tells you you're not good
No,
enough.
no. Because I tried everything. I submitted
try
stuff
everything.
I put stuff to film
didn't
festivals.
try everything.
I was in Hollywood as an extra. I tried to get in the movie business. Well, let's say I was.
Are you kidding me? There's so many independent films out there, and
let's-
we have done our own independent films.
We've done the film, but I'm just
Do
saying.
we need to be famous in order for it
no,
to be?
no. But I'm just saying that I haven't made. I'm not able to make a living out of what
So
I
you don't
love.
have the marketing skills on it.
So I have to do other stuff, you know.
That's fine, but it doesn't mean you have to do something that
You know?
makes you miserable. Don't do something that makes you
No.
miserable. What do you do for work?
No, not
What do you do for work?
Not what makes you miserable. I'm trying to do stuff that I
Let's
like.
be honest. What do you do for work?
Well, I do.
You don't have to say all your jobs. One of them.
I'm a kayak guy that I love, and then
Okay.
I landscape, which
Okay,
I
do you-
hate.
what do you feel-
But from
Okay.
landscaping, I get most of my money.
Okay, so that doesn't mean you have to be a landscaper your entire life and spend your whole life doing something that makes you miserable.
No.
That's just stupid. Better, like the song says, like the speech says, better to live a short life doing the things that you love than a long life doing the things that you hate.
And
That
then-
make you miserable because
Oh.
that's just stupid. That's all retch, no vomit. You're never
Oh,
going to get there.
Okay, now listen.
I wanted to be an actor too,
No, but let's listen to my case,
but
right?
I'm never going to say I'm not good enough.
Because what I'm doing, right, the landscaping, I can do what I love every day, because I don't spend that much money that much time working.
But
right?
you're doing something
But-
that
but-
you love, but you're still doing the thing that you love. Even though you have to do
Exactly.
something else,
Well,
it doesn't mean that that thing has to be the center of your life, and that's
no,
what people
it's
make it.
it's not center, but it's
Right.
something I have
It's
to.
essential.
It's something I have to. Yeah,
It's
I have
essential.
to do
Okay.
in order to do all the fun stuff that
well,
I
I
do.
agree with that.
So-
I agree
so-
with
so
doing
I'm-
something that's essential.
I'm happy with that, but the thing is, I would like to have it reversed, right? So, I make money from what I love to do, and and have landscaping as a fun. Just plant papaya in my backyard.
but you never
Done.
know what's going to happen.
No,
So
but
you
I'm
get older and you weren't the.
I'm
like
trying.
me. I wasn't
you know?
the heartthrob that
Yeah.
I wanted to be in the admired in Hollywood.
You know?
But maybe what would have happened had I gone to Hollywood at that young age is I would have passed away early, like Heath Ledger and others, Chris Farley and so
It's
on.
possible,
Okay.
yeah.
Maybe my neck would have got broken in a film and that would have paralyzed me completely or would have killed me.
But
I wanted to be a pro hockey player when I was a kid. I'm a great hockey player. I grew up playing hockey in Maine.
it would be what
But-
you said: shorter life, but loving what you do.
Yes.
So
but
even
it wasn't
if you
meant for
die-
me. But it wasn't meant for me. There's a Cuban saying my Cuban friend taught me. What's meant for you will be yours. What's not meant for you, you will not have.
Now that I don't believe, but
Well,
that doesn't matter.
you're
right?
not the actor. Wasn't meant for you. Maybe there's something else in film that you're missing.
Well, the thing
There's
is,
things in my life that I'm missing
that there's
that
circumstances.
I should have paid attention to that I'm paying attention to now.
There's circumstances like what you had, like you said, you got hooked up on a crystal meth.
That's an excuse.
Yeah,
That's an
yeah,
excuse. That
yeah.
shot my self-confidence, and I'm the one that hid from people. I'm the one that didn't keep pursuing it. I'm the one that let the people who judge me for what I'd done
Yeah.
and bring me down.
But-
I screwed up
but
because
be-
I wasn't strong
Exactly, but because of that, you kind of missed certain window.
enough. I didn't miss anything.
Of opportunity to be in Hollywood.
But maybe that
right?
wasn't my window to go through. Maybe
That's
that
a-
wasn't my window.
But you don't know because you.
Right.
did something
so
else,
That what
you
if
know?
ism doesn't work because that means
That's
that I
what
would
it-
have to regret the dogs that I've rescued. That would mean I have to
No.
regret meeting the woman that I met. I met these people that I've met because of the choices that I've made.
Yeah,
And it
exactly.
brought me someplace else.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean somebody should go and feel shameful and insecure about something they did because it'll bring them something later in life. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I wasn't paying attention to the signs in my life that were directing me in a certain direction I was meant to go because I so badly wanted to be something else. Not realizing what potential I had in other areas. Like articulating this type of conversation that we're having.
Yeah.
Being a public speaker, possibly. Being a motivational speaker. I may have missed opportunities, but where one door closes, another one opens, right? And that door that opens, you can choose to step through or not. there's still been opportunity for me to go and be an actor. I have a friend in LA now who quit the friggin' FBI to go be an actor. Now he's struggling with it up and down, but he's been doing it for over 2 years now. And he does what work he gets. He keeps pushing me to come out there to LA.
Yeah, I know
It doesn't
that.
mean I'm not going to go.
I know
I've been
that,
trying
yeah.
to get there myself since in my 20s, my early 20s. I've been trying to get there since I seen Pitch Black with Vin Diesel.
Yes.
So I really wanted to give him a run for his money.
Yeah.
I think we would have had a great time acting together and competing for the same parts. I still think we'd have a great time acting together. Riddick is one of my favorite characters, but Riddick doesn't have a so-called specific enemy, a nemesis. I always wanted to be Riddick's nemesis. I have a character written for it, and he's an amazing character. But here's a sign.
I read it.
Wait, here's a
I read
sign.
the part of it.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did read a part of it. But here's a sign that I noticed. I was sitting in jail, and I really wanted to do some writing as well. I love to write. So I was writing a pirate story. While I'm sitting in jail, Pirates of the Caribbean came out. I got angry, but I noticed I'm sort of in line with what's happening in life, my thoughts, my mind, my imagination. Because I also wanted to do something about racing motorcycles since Vin Diesel did the car racing thing, right? What comes out? Biker boys. So I'm like, damn it! Why am I behind the friggin' 8-ball? What the hell's happening? Well, let's jump forward to this year. I was writing a character who is injected with nanotechnology. What does Vin Diesel do? He comes out with Bloodshot.
It does, but it's based on the comics that's
It's
that's
based
probably
on the
like 30
comics,
years
but
old.
I never knew anything about.
I know, I agree.
I never knew anything about Bloodshot.
No.
I didn't realize that.
You-
But my point is, I was on point. There was something in my life speaking to me and I wasn't paying attention. I even told myself this, which really ties in paying attention to the signs in life to do the things that make you happy. I'm in Key West. And there are things about me that facts about me that people don't like. One of the things is I'm very brutally honest and they call me an asshole. The other thing is the adult film. People like to try and say, oh, he's gay, or he's bisexual, or he's this or that. Call me what you want. I don't care. I'm a sexual human being. But I love women. That's what I grew up chasing. That's what I'm attracted to.
Yeah.
What I did in adult film came from drugs and not caring and wanting more money. Hell, I got $1,500 a fucking scene.
So
I got $1,500 a scene. That's not heard of.
So it sounds like I don't want to really see it because
Yeah, no, you don't. Well, I did both. I was on both sides of the spectrum.
Damn
like I
it.
did. There was both. The woman scene that I did. I'm not going to say her name because I don't know legal ramifications there either. But it was both. I don't date both. I don't chase both. I'm not attracted to both.
yeah.
But I can say a man is an attractive man without being attracted to him. Okay? But when it came down to the sex part in that, I was not able to perform as if it was a woman. A lot of the stuff, my film, looks very amateur.
Mm-hmm.
It looks very like I was nervous. I look uncomfortable. I don't look like I'm in my own skin
Yeah.
because I wasn't. So, that is self-honesty. And I had to be honest with myself. And it led me to a new life. So, what I ended up discovering is in Key West, I'm not going to find a woman. I'm not going to find somebody that I really connect with who will not judge me.
That's what I hear about Key West.
I need to go away from Key West. Maybe I'm going to find that person in California. Or maybe, just maybe, I'm just meant to be alone. And I gave up. I didn't date for 3 years. Didn't have a girlfriend for
I
3
know.
years. And I gave up. I said, you know what? You have too much of a hot temper. You don't go off hitting your women, but you scare them when you get angry. You need to fix this. You need to figure it out. You need to work on you. And when you figure you out, that person will come up. That's never going to happen. I'll work on me. This is me being self-honest with myself. I will work on me, and I have, and I do, and I am. But this isn't going to happen for me. But okay, so I'm going to rescue dogs. I can't regret my life. No, I didn't become the actor. I'm not famous. I don't have big secrets of whatever people want to say about me like some actors do. Whether they're gay, straight, bisexual, who gives a shit? You watch their films, who cares? But what ends up happening to me this year, life proved me wrong in the biggest way possible. I meet the absolute woman of my dreams. So when I was a kid, I used to look at Penthouse and Hustler like everybody else and so on and so forth. And I came across this picture of a woman who had brunette hair and beautiful, bright green eyes. Like, damn, that's a gorgeous look. That's hot. She's hot, strong features. And like, man, that if I ever get a woman that if I ever get married, and I've never been married, but I will get married one day if that my life leads to that. I'm not afraid of it, but I don't want to do it over and over again. I want to get married once. I don't need to be repeating that. That's not something that we need to repeat to perfect, okay? That's not one of those repetition things. Having 8 wives isn't cool, at least not to me. Maybe in other cultures, but not to me. But I end up meeting this woman on social media. I end up following her. Don't say too much. I compliment, I like her pictures here and there. And one day, long story short, I send her a message. Now, I knew she had a boyfriend, so I didn't want to be disrespectful and interfere with anyone's relationship. Come to find out, I really wasn't. And I'm not going to speak too much about that relationship because it's not mine to speak about. But I did send a message saying that if she were single and in the United States, she's not in this country, I'm not going to say where she is. She will be once she can come back because she has been here. We would most likely, I don't know if I said most likely or we would be together or talking. Because as I followed her, the amount of time I followed her, I kept my mouth shut. I didn't send nasty sexual messages.
Stalker.
Yeah. Little did I know that she was attracted to me too. But there's nothing wrong with that. Even if she had a boyfriend and she was attracted to me, there was something pulling her. And I'm talking about these powers of the universe that we don't control. Because we only control what we control, which is our reaction, ourselves. And I got a return message saying, thank you for the compliment. That's very nice. I appreciate that. But yes, you actually do owe my boyfriend an apology because that is disrespectful. You know I have a boyfriend and you're saying these things. And I just don't feel it's right that he doesn't get an apology. Something to this effect. So I got defensive, but she didn't know that. I kept it to myself. I got insecure too. I didn't get angry, got defensive. And then I got sad. And I realized, fuck, I shouldn't have said that. I did overstep. She does have a boyfriend. So I apologized. And I sent her a message saying, you're absolutely correct. I truly meant no harm. I was only speaking what I felt. I probably should have kept that to myself. That was not respectful to you.
And I hope your boyfriend will die.
No. And I owe your boyfriend an apology, so I am telling you right now, I sincerely apologize to you and to him both. I am sorry. I will stop following you out of respect because I do not want to cause any problems. And I stopped following her for 10 minutes. I waited.
Stalker.
Man. No. But I did pay attention to see if she was going to block me. Because if she was going to block me, I was okay with that. I fully understood. She didn't block me. So I was like, because she didn't send me a message that says, well, you do what you feel you need to do. And that was unusual. I'm like, huh? Aren't you going to block me? No.
Are you used to girls blocking you?
I'm not used to talking to girls. I don't just go up to them because the way I've always looked, my body, if you see my social media, which we will say, I do know my body is something different. I do know that. I realize that. I realize the amount of definition I have and the size. And when I say my weight, people are shocked and think I weigh more than what I do. So I realize that. But no, I'm not the type that goes chasing around after women like that because to me it's somewhat disrespectful to myself. It doesn't, I'm kind of like,
well, yeah.
I'm like Cheech and Chong going after women, you know? You know, I'm not going to do that. That's not me.
Sometimes.
So if I don't get certain responses back, I leave the woman alone. I gauge. I feel out. But I'm myself. I'm honest.
Yeah.
I don't have a game. I'm not pretending to be some other persona or any bullshit like that. Well, after she sent me that message of telling me I do whatever I need to do, what I feel is best, I followed her again. I just hit follow again because her page wasn't private, but mine was. My page is no longer private because I can just block who I don't want follow me if people disrespect me or said rude pictures or say rude things. I just block them, no problem. Well, time went on, and I would just like certain pictures, certain things because she works out. And I love when a girl works out.
Mhm.
Unfortunately for me, it is a prerequisite if I'm going to be attracted to that girl because it's working out for almost 30 years now has been so important, has such a profound effect on my life in more ways than one. It's just not just the way I look or health-wise, mentally health-wise, self-confidence-wise, educationally wise, that to not have somebody to share that with who I'm going to be spending my life with or have a relationship with doesn't mix. Because I've tried it. It doesn't mix. Doesn't work. But this girl happens to have green eyes and brown hair. She's brunette. Well, dark brown. Dark hair. And did not plan this. I did not know that there was what was happening in her relationship was happening. I'm not going to speak about it. We still talk. We've gotten much closer. But what seemed to be happening as I expressed my likes and my dislikes, it wasn't, oh, me too, oh, me too, oh, me too, like somebody was just trying to match what I was saying and have the same thing in common. It was detail to the answers she would return to me, the return comments. And it just started to show us both that we are on the same path. We are the male and female version of each other. And in this, I learned that I was wrong. I can meet somebody in Key West. They're just not going to be in Key West. Key West was the catalyst for me to meet that person who I very much believe is absolutely perfect for me. And she believes the same. Because of the way that we keep bonding, our conversations have no awkward pauses. We both don't care about they and what other people have to think. It took me a long time to get to that point. Her too. I didn't know that. But she likes to dance. She's a dance instructor and she does some TikTok dancing and stuff to have fun. She likes to have fun. I've wanted a girlfriend to do silly TikTok stuff with because I like to be silly. And I've always wanted to dance, but I have never had that self-confidence to do so. I've always wanted to take dance classes. She's a dance instructor. Here's a sign. She has the confidence to go out and dance and the confidence in her moves, and she's good, and puts it on TikTok and doesn't care what anybody thinks, whether they like it or not. It's not for her. It's not for them. It's for her. It's not even for me. She didn't give a fuck what I think. It's for her.
Well,
so
if she puts it on TikTok, it's for people, not
Well-
really for her. Otherwise, she could watch it at home on her computer and not put it out on a TikTok.
she puts it out
You know?
because it is her platform of self-expression.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
yes,
I agree with that.
It can be
Yes.
for others, but it's not other people's opinions and other people's approval that she's searching for.
No,
It's a better way to
she
say
might
it.
not. Yeah.
A better way to say it. Correct.
Yeah, but she wants. Everybody
Everybody wants some
wants
level of attention.
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
How you go about it and what you do to get it comes with consequences. Most people don't like those consequences, so it turns into a big problem or can't deal with the consequences. Hence, fame, no longer private life. So that was just some of the things that we matched up on. But I would also be hearing songs while at work that talked about the perfect one for you, or for me, you know, the perfect person, and things that just hinted towards you're on the right track. This is the person. This is a good person. She's not judging you. She's not going to judge you. You've told her your biggest secret, which is your biggest fear to tell any woman that could turn her off and think you're disgusting and think you're this and that and not give you a chance to really be you and understand you. This person did. And once that happened, I was locked in. I understood that there's not going to be anybody else who I connect with like this because it's once in a lifetime connection. And this doesn't just happen. Since this doesn't just happen all the time, you need to do it right. So you need to be honest. You need to capitalize on your self-honesty. The more you're honest, the more this person's going to be into you. The more honest I've been with her, the continuously honest I've been with her, or the continuation of being honest, we have drawn closer and closer together. And there isn't anything that I have to be ashamed of or hide or fear somebody telling her, because I keep telling her the good and the bad about my life, and she keeps accepting it. Those are signs that I have to go with. The things that are drawing us together are helping. The fact that I bumped into a friend of mine who's going to help her be here when it's feasible, when it's actually able to be done because of border issues right now.
Yeah.
That doesn't just happen because I didn't ask this friend of mine to help. He's in the profession, in the position to help, because he asked me in the gym the other day, "Hey, you're looking great, man. How you doing?" This is somebody I banged heads with in the gym almost 6 years ago. Banged heads. The owner of the gym brought us together. And I'm going to say it, Old Town Fitness, Key West, Florida. That's the gym. And he told me, "Well, you know I'm a lawyer, right?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I'm this type of lawyer. This is what I do." I was like, "Really?" So I guess I could say he's an immigration lawyer. So when you're ready, I can help you two for her to be here. This is what needs to be done. This is what you need to do. This is all you need to do. See me when you're ready. Kidding me? Absolutely. I told her about this. Would you believe that we both got emotional about it? Happy emotional? Because it was just another sign to let us know we are doing what is the universe's plan for us to do. Now, we all don't know what the universe's plan is, but we can pick up the hints. We can pick up signs of the track our life should be on. If everything keeps going wrong for you, there's a problem. If you have a problem all the time at the grocery store, broken neck, injured muscle here, struggle here, changed job here, lost this job, lost this person in your life, then you need to stop and wonder, is it really you? Is there something about me that I'm not being honest about, that I'm not facing, that I need to do that will put me on the right track? Well, being me and being this honest put me on this track to meet this person.
I'm happy for you.
There's another side. Bring it. Bring it.
Yeah,
Joe Biden.
I'm
bring
happy,
it.
happy for you. It just seems like it's not going to be totally easy, right?
What in my life has ever been easy?
You seem really infatuated, I would say, with this girl, which is
I'm infatuated with the connection,
which is great.
I'm infatuated with the connection, with the fact that I was wrong.
Yeah.
I'm infatuated with the fact that what I thought would never happen in my life, the biggest dream I have, to run into a person who looks like a certain way I've always dreamt about since I was a kid, and have these certain qualities that can bring a new part of me out, have me be out there dancing on TikTok and doing silly things, and just go travel across country and just enjoy life and not care about what other people think.
Well, and gets along with you.
Gets along with me. Yes, you know me. Gets along with me and can tamper me down. I mean, she's already, just by being in my life and the way that she has, tampered down my temper. I'm rethinking my reaction to my road rage. All right, there's no quotes there. It's road rage, all right? I cannot stand stupidity. I do not like stupid people. And when you're on the road and you're being stupid, I even have less time for you, okay? So she's helping me with that by just being, Not by saying, you got to calm down, but just by being in my mind. And when I talk to her about, or if she is on the phone when we're talking, we do video chat. Yeah, babe, hey, it's all right. Chill out. What are you going to do? And you're right. What am I going to do? Chill out.
Well,
Chill out.
women, they do have that kind of effect.
None
you know?
have. Not one. Okay, one other woman that was in my life in Dallas, Texas, had that effect on me. The woman before her kept using the expression, something's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Now, she's a great woman, but we did not click the way we should have. There was still a little something missing. But each one of them have given me something valuable, and I've kept it. And so when I found somebody who had effects on me that were completely unexpected and unintended to be affected, I grabbed a hold of that. And like I told her, I'm grabbing a hold of this connection and what we have in her, and I'm not letting go unless there is signs that say it's time to let go. Everything is for a season. Maybe this is the person I end up getting married to and we die together. I don't know. Maybe we die at the same time like the movie The Notebook. I don't know. But I do know that what I feel, what connections I have, what bond I have with her, what we connect, what we have, what we share is through honesty. So it can only be positive. Yes, there's ups and downs. I get that, and there'll be some other challenges. But I'm only where I am with this person because I was honest. So there is something that comes with being honest. Now, does that mean I'm going to be giving out all my information to everybody who asks me a question? No, because I will pick up on people who want to ask me a question and try, my nickname is Gio, so many people call me Gio. That G in the middle of my name, Ryan G. Bodwin. Hey, Gio, I heard you did adult film, and they don't want to really say anything else. They want me to go into the details. They don't want to give the details. When they do that, they're trying to hurt me. So I step on them. I will teach them a lesson. Yeah, I did something. Why? Is there something you have an issue with? Is there something you want to talk about? And I get loud. No. It's just something I heard. Oh, you heard. Well, I'll tell you what. You're coming and asking me. If you're coming and ask me because you want to try to make fun of me, you can squash that right now. Because you're not going to affect me.
Go watch the movie first and then...
Go watch the movie and make fun of the movie, by all means, because I've not seen them. I've never watched any of my adult film. Not watched any of it. And I have watched the fight scenes I've done for independent films. I've watched those because that's what I really love to do. That's where I'm not degrading myself. To me, the adult film for my life, for my decision, for where I grew up and how I grew up, degraded me. Doesn't mean I think that about them. Doesn't mean I don't think that about those who do adult film. Not them. Those who do adult film. That's their choice. There are people who do it and are very happy in doing it. There are those who would do it and are very unhappy in doing it. There are those who are doing it and need drugs to do it. That's not for me. What's for me is what I have. And I happen to have this connection with this woman. I happen to have somebody that I never thought I would have in my life. And I've been on my own since I was 16, in and out of shelters, in Job Corps, certified culinary arts, GED, but I could frame a house, I could put up the drywall, I could put the electric in, I could put the plumbing in. I have those trades because I stepped up and started doing those. And I could cook the damn food that I need for the nutrition or the junk food that I want. In many different types of cultures, many different types of dishes. I put together a person that commands respect, that didn't know he commanded respect, that didn't know his own qualities until later, much later in life. I'm older now. So these qualities have led me to this person. This person will see this, and she will see the respect that she's given in it. Now, will she want all her friends and her ex to see it right away? Probably not, because that will bring her maybe some problems that she doesn't want
Mhm.
or doesn't need right now. But she won't lie about it if somebody happens to see it. And she's not ashamed of me at all. But just like me, there are certain people I don't talk about her with because I don't need the negativity. I don't need the opposition. There's no need to try and tear down something that's created itself and it is so beautiful. That is people's nature to destroy. That's where that starts coming out. If there's somebody who doesn't accept us, that's your problem. But there's no need to ask to be killed by walking across a busy street saying, oh, if it's meant for me to die, I'm going to die. If it's meant for me to live, I'm going to live. Bullshit. You can aggravate a situation. There are people that may have lived longer. Oh, no, it was meant for so-and-so to die. You don't know that. How do you know that? How do you even know God is God? You can't say that. That's arrogant. It's very ignorant, too.
Yeah, but that's one of the things you said, that what's meant to be, that's what's meant to be.
Correct.
So,
So-
in a way you believe that, but in other way
I believe it.
you don't.
No,
can
I believe what's
aggravate.
meant to be is meant to be. But to invite somebody into something, let's say, too soon, or who doesn't even need to be involved. So basically what I'm saying is we can share the information with who we choose.
Yeah.
Who we choose to share it with are people that support us.
Most of the
If
time.
there's those who don't support us, that's not it's meant to be. That's allowing somebody else to try to change something that is already created and meant to be. To say, oh, well, that change, that negativity is meant to be and meant to change it. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. But to bring it in and allow, that's like saying it's meant for a sociopath to be alive and exist because it teaches us what not to do. Okay? It teaches us our own moral standing. Okay, I guess I can believe that because I have to. Because it does. I don't think killing is right in the forms in which we would speak about murder, rape, killing children, pedophilia. But to say that, well, I know this person's a pedophiliac, so I'm going to introduce him to my son who's 5 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it was meant for this to happen to your child because you introduced the person to your child. No. I don't believe that that is what was meant to be. The reason I'm saying that is I don't think we're not meant to be negative. Negativity destroys. Positivity creates. Life is a creation and is beautiful. Death has its own beauty, but it's a natural course.
Yeah.
It's not something we need to exacerbate. I did not say masturbate. Oh, I had to do it. It was just there. I had to do it.
Are we back in your movie again?
We're
or
back in my
something?
movie again. Yes, we are back there again. So yeah, there is a time when the person or people who we are not sharing things with will be introduced into what we have. But there's a time for everything to happen. You know, I moved out of my parents' house at age 16. I think that was too soon. I ran away. That was too soon. I wasn't ready for the real world. I wasn't prepared for anything. Is that the way it was meant to be? Not necessarily, but that's the way it went because of
Yeah.
my decision.
Exactly.
It's what you choose. Okay? So make decisions that will help you, not destroy you. We're making a decision that will help us by sharing what we share with who we share it with.
All right, Ryan. So we're out of time. We've been at it for, I don't know, 3 hours maybe. So we'll meet again.
Yes.
Of course. So we
Yes.
just live really close. And it's been fun. Just, tell us where people can reach you if they want to,
Well, I have
Instagram or stuff.
Instagram, yeah. I do have it. And I'm really bad with Instagram
What
as
is
far
it?
as remembering it because I have 3 different ones. One's for rescuing, And I'm going to read them off my phone. I don't care. I'm reading them off my phone, everybody. The Instagrams are really important to me because one of them is me personally. The other one is about fitness, and the other one is about animal rescue. So that's why they're really important to me. So the first one that I want to share with everybody that you could find me at is Geo Ryan Bow. That is my Instagram name for my personal Instagram. So Geo, G-E-O-R-Y-A-N B-E-A-U. Geo Ryan Bow. That is me. The other one is TrueFit74. That's my fitness page. I like to do a lot of my training videos and lessons and form and things go there. Anything else to really do with my fitness. When I used to compete, the fight scenes we have done, fight scene I have done before for other films, independent films are there. But the biggest and most important one is GeoB Rescuing. GeoB Rescuing, excuse me. G-E-O-B Rescuing. GeoB Rescuing is my rescue page for all animals. There are mostly dogs and cats on it, but it's for all animals. Each of those pages does have my dog Chiquito that passed away on it. You cannot miss it. But the rescue page, it was put together because I want to tie as many real, true rescuers and animal advocates together as possible. Because the more that they unite, the more that we unite, the more that we, not they, the more that we can stand up to those who are abusing our animals, abandoning our animals, mistreating our animals, our pets, our dogs, our cats, and make a change. It's all about change, positive change. So that's a great connect for that.
Well, next time we have to talk about that more.
Yes, I think that's really important.
Also the fight scenes, I think.
I think
would
the
like
fight scenes will be fun to talk
discuss
about. You
those.
know, we have a lot in common with that. And we've been on somewhat of the same path and not even known it from some of our off-camera talks. So, yeah, I think people will be interested in hearing more true self,
All right.
more self-honesty.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.